Tonight, we're going to be reviewing episode 2 of American Horror Story entitled Chutes and Ladders. Then we're going to be going over the new film Final Girls, the throwback slasher to the 80s. And then we're going to be discussing the Friday the 13th up-and-coming video game. So this is The Horror Word with Shane and Perd.
Welcome to the second episode of The Horror Word with Shane and Perd. And let's just get right into it.
Let's go right into it. Tonight, we watched the second episode of American Horror Story Hotel.
You've seen things. Got you rattled.
Weird things go down, especially at night.
You think there's hope now?
Thinking you could cheat death. People walked in and just vanished.
Gotcha.
Entitled Chutes and Ladders. And as I said last week, I checked into the hotel. I don't know how long I'm going to be staying. My stay may be preemptive after this last episode. Thoughts?
I really hate just talking shit about things, but this was a huge stinker.
This was a big step back from last week's episode, which had a lot of promise, set up a lot of characters, but then this week they just decided, man, we'll have a fashion show and waste 20 minutes for no reason.
What was that?
Just let's have a fashion show in the middle of our hotel room.
That was so ridiculous.
I don't know if it was a promotional thing for the reopening of the hotel of some sorts, but for some reason it just breaks into a giant fashion show. Very stylized, very great. This week we got introduced to Finn Whitlock's character. He was listed as a special guest star on the episode, so I'm not sure if he's going to be reprising the role. It does seem like he's here to stay. Not to spoil anything, but nothing happened.
Do his hair.
Yeah, his hair.
Do his hair.
Oh, you want me to do his hair? Hold on.
This is his hair.
This is his hair in the episode, son. Does that look cool? Am I pretty? Am I pretty now? That's cool.
I actually thought his hair was kind of cool because it was so fucked up. What did I say? It was
he's got this like
Vegematic meets
Whoa. The
Earthquake.
Earthquake.
Did you see that?
I did. That was your foot.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to think it was an earthquake.
They're supposed to think it's an earthquake. We could like lurch forward like on Star Trek, like we're getting hit by a photon torpedo.
Someone throw a box at us. Vegematic meets that would not fall in an earthquake.
Flew across the room in the earthquake.
Hey, it's raining flippers. No, God, I already forgot. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
He was rocking this Flock of Seagulls meets Adam Lambert
That's
kind
it,
of haircut.
Flock of seagulls, thank you.
Fail of Seagulls is what I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
So I probably sullied my own hair doing his haircut from it. So the character later becomes turned into a vampire by Lady Gaga because, she has nothing else to do with herself in this show. And they proceed to have 5 or 6 different random blood orgies throughout the episode. I'm over the porn, okay? It's like, if I want to watch porn, I'll watch porn. If I want to watch a horror TV show, I'll watch a horror TV show. But you're not delivering. You're just giving me more porn and less story. However, we were introduced to Tate from season 1. Mm-hmm. We were introduced to his character, Evan Peters. Back. I think this character, who is the original builder of the hotel, who is a H.H. Holmes kind of character.
Possibly
kind of serial killer thing.
Yeah.
But the hotel was built with all these different chutes, body chutes, various long hotels to secret rooms and things like that, much like H.H. Holmes did in Chicago. So the character is kind of like him, but he's sort of like a Hood Clark Gable kind of thing he's doing there. And the only good aspect of the episode was the flashback to the 1920s.
I agree.
Explained
it was
this
the
character.
only interesting part in the entire episode. Like,
If they
when
had
it started happening, we were like, okay,
this is great. This is great. This is getting good.
good.
I'm starting to actually dig on it. But then they cut back to the real world and it went back to a blood orgy and I was just checked out after that. Some of the dialogue in this episode was just like, There's at one point where Lady Gaga just says a line of shit that isn't even actual words. She might as well have just been like, "Nick suck blarney quando flew," and just said anything.
George Carlin.
Next time they tell you to say something in your own words, say Nick flat blarney quando flew.
So all in all, I feel the episode was a big step back. They really didn't progress the story at all. They moved along the Seven story. The Ten Commandments serial killer story. I'm sorry, they're the same thing. Chloe Sevigny's character did have a nice little rant at the beginning talking about, child rearing and things of that. Her character at least has some quality delivered lines, has some things to talk about. Not so much for anybody else in the joint, though. So, overall, feelings on the episode. Severed thumb rating.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going 1 thumb.
I'm going to give it 1.5 thumbs because I really liked the Evan Peters side story, or should be main story.
Should be main story. If they did a whole origin episode
really
like that, I would be jazzed.
He stole the show. His performance
Absolutely,
was fantastic.
100%.
The writing seemed to be better too with him.
Better,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
Camp Bloodbath is the granddaddy of all campsite slasher films. Max's mom plays Nancy, this shy girl next door.
Nice legs. What time they open?
It's cool you get to remember your mom this way.
At least I get to see her on the anniversary of her death, even if she is being chased by a psycho.
We plugged on the movie Final Girls tonight.
Wait, before we get into this, I want to let you guys know this is going to be a spoiler-free
100%
review.
Spoiler-free review.
Because this movie is awesome, and we don't want to ruin it for you.
We don't want to ruin any aspect of it, because when we're done with this, you need to go download it, find it on DVD, find a theater that's running it.
It's currently in theaters
Absolutely
right now.
fantastic.
It's not widespread theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a few theaters, but it is in theaters.
I think it'll catch on. I think it'll be one of those ones like It Follows that builds up a little bit of steam afterwards, after a few people see it and realize how amazing that it is.
Yeah,
it'll start to pick
and
up
there'll
a
be
little.
people who'll be like, "Oh, my friend said this movie was so good. I heard such good things about it. I thought it was boring." I run into that all the time on the internet. It's like, people built this up for me and it sucked. It's like, hey, if you would have discovered that on your own with no expectations, just one night flipping through the channels and it just came on, you're like, wow, this movie's awesome. You tell your friends about it, you would have liked it a lot more. Don't let expectations ruin shit for you. Just watch it objectively.
Expectations.
Try.
Breaking into the movie, going back to American Horror Story. Thaisa, I'm not sure how to name. Farmiga, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I think you pretty much.
I murdered that name. I'm not even gonna. We're just gonna call her Zoe because she was Zoe in season 3 of American Horror Story, and she was the daughter.
Well, her name was Max in the movie.
Her name was Max in the movie. Yep. She plays Max, a girl who loses her mother early on in the film. Very early on in the film.
Very early on.
Her mother was an 80s slasher star who starred in the movie Camp Bloodbath, which was a 1980s super slasher flick.
Just like an homage to Friday the 13th.
It's a very Friday the 13th throwback. All the characters take on sort of an archetype of one of the characters. The black dude with suspenders and a bunch of pins. There's a slutty girl who's constantly dancing and stripping. There's the girl who's the quiet one with the clipboard and the guitar. They all fit into these complete perfect stereotypes and archetypes of the slasher genre. But Max's character loses her mother early on in the film, goes to a screening of it per the request of one of her friends, and finds herself actually zapped into the world of Camp Bloodbath.
And her friend is played by the brilliant Thomas Middleditch.
Middleditch or something like that.
I love that dude.
It's fantastic.
He's from a bunch of stuff, but mainly Silicon Valley.
Plays the Randy of this particular movie. He gives us all our rules, tells us how we're gonna run things, gives us the story arc from start to finish. But the movie is fantastic. The dialogue is fantastic. The character development is amazing. How it's shot is fantastic. It's really very meta. There's flashback sequences in which they flashback within themselves back to other things, but we don't want to give too much away about the film.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We went into it not knowing anything about it.
Exactly.
We hadn't watched a trailer,
seen a trailer.
Hadn't read a synopsis about it. I knew who was in the movie, and that was about it.
Yeah, me too.
So we went into it completely open-minded, and we're blown away. This one is the new Cabin in the Woods, I feel. It's the Cabin in the Woods
meets Last Action Hero.
Yep.
Oh my god. What is our max 4?
No, we go to 5.
5? Well,
Maybe we go to 5.
I would absolutely give it 5.
I
enjoyed the shit out of it.
I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna go 5.
Oh.
I'm gonna go 4. I feel that it was not as heavy-handed with the gore. There was a few points. Don't get me wrong. This is it. It's got some blood. It's got some ketchup. I'm with it.
It could have been a lot gorier.
I feel that
but we're kind of used to gore.
We have higher standards.
Some people would be like, that movie's kind of gory.
Some people would think it's a violent movie, but I mean, dudes like us, we're like, well, I mean, whatever. You folded that guy in half, that's Thursday. It's no big deal to us. But the gore that they did do was done well. I appreciate it, but I feel it could have been a little more gruesome.
It could have been. I agree with him. It really could have been.
Could have been more gruesome. So I'm going to go 4. But 4 is still a high number, and this one is still highly recommended. And if you happen to see it in a theater, you happen to pass somebody who's got it saved on a memory stick, watch it. You'll thank us.
Also, if you do watch it, comment and let us know what you thought.
Exactly.
If you like it or don't like it.
If you don't like it, let us know. If you loved it, let us know.
We'll argue with you.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Real quick, I want to talk about something everyone's been talking about, just because. The Kickstarter for the Friday the 13th video game.
And we're not talking about Jason.
Holy shit.
Jason with a green face and a purple suit. This is a real deal survival horror.
Green face, purple suit, Jason.
He's so good.
Don't knock 8-bit
You can
Jason.
never find him. He's always somewhere else. You look on your map and he's always over here, and you're always going this direction. So, but this one's not going to be finding Jason's sweater in the woods. It's not going to be anything.
No,
like
you
that.
actually can play.
This is going to be a real deal thing, and it's not going to be like Mortal Kombat where you play as Jason. We're talking hunting down campers, smashing people against trees in their sleeping bags, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be amazing.
Go to the Kickstarter page. Put in your funding.
Can you put a link at the bottom to the Kickstarter page there?
Yeah, totally. Give them your money because, god damn it, it's worth it. Just watch the video of the behind the scenes of the interviews, the short interviews with Kane Hodder, Tom Savini.
Yep.
They even got Henry Manfredi doing the soundtrack. The amazing soundtrack. Those movies have some of my favorite soundtracks.
Yep.
Super subtle piano work that's just beautiful. And even what's his goddamn name? See, I drank too much. I can't remember his name.
It's terrible.
I know the goddamn director's name from the first one.
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Sean Cunningham.
Sean Cunningham.
Not
Sean
Richie.
S. Cunningham.
Not to be confused with Richie Cunningham.
Definitely not.
Not the same guy. We love you, Ron Howard. Be on the show.
Not even close.
Come on the show. We'll talk to you, Ron Howard. We like you. Backdraft was badass. Go to the Kickstarter page. Contribute money to it because we are going to be contributing our last dollar to it because we want to see it happen.
Already did.
So, to wrap things up, we're going American Horror Story this week. 1 thumb for me, 1.5 thumbs for my friend Shane. Final Girls, 4 for myself, 5 for Shane. Highly recommended. Go out and see it. It's amazing.
Goddamn clever.
Friday the 13th video game. Go to the Kickstarter page. There's a link at the bottom there. Contribute every last dollar to it. Sell your parents, sell your sisters, sell your brothers, everything you've ever owned in your life to make the video game happen. Coming up, stay tuned. Next week we're going to be reviewing Goodnight Mommy. We've got a couple things in the works right now. We're going to be going over iZombie. We've been going over the first season of that. Fantastic show. Awesome show. We've got some other things in the works coming up. Some special guests coming up. We've got some new things. One big thing people asked us about, t-shirts. Myself and Shane, we tend to rock horror movie t-shirts pretty much all the time. Mine is from frightrags.com, fright-rags.com. Love those guys. Awesome shirts. You know where yours is from? No?
Well, it's either Fright Rags or Horror Merch.
It's either Fright Rags or Horror Merch.
I shop on both those websites all the time.
I shop on both of them. Yep, quite a bit.
This one's a little older, so I don't really remember.
We got a lot of comments online from people asking where we get our t-shirts from. So each week we'll let you know where the shirts come from. But this week, Fright Rags, fright-rags.com. Awesome shit.
Yeah, it really is. They got a new. They just put out a new line of trick or treat inspired.
Yep. They have a whole series of Halloween T-shirts,
Yeah,
whole series of Reanimator T-shirts, Child's Play shirts. They're awesome.
Oh yeah.
Good quality
I want
too.
those
They
Child's
last.
Play shirts.
They're really nice.
A couple of those are really cool.
I've had a lot of shirts that I've gotten in the past that have been not so great. They tear into the armpits. They shrink after the first 2 or 3 washes, but theirs hold up. Theirs will last you a pretty good long time. I've had this one for quite a while, so check it out, frightrags.com. So that's going to wrap us up for this week. This has been another episode of The Horror Word with Shane and Perd.